Okay, I want to talk a little bit about teaching. So,
Okay.
what got you into teaching?
This is going back maybe 20 years ago. I graduated from Southampton Solent University in the UK. And my background was the Air Force. I was in the Air Force for 3 years,
The RAF.
RAF. And I went back to the careers office and said, I'm here,
Give me a job.
Give me a job again. And they said, no, thank you. We don't want the likes of you here. So I was left at a sort of a crossroads with my wife, who was from Korea. We got married in the UK. I'd never really been to Korea before. And I said to my wife, look, I can't get a job. There's no jobs around. Or there are jobs, but it's all like sales based and consultants, like agency work and that sort of thing. And I said, look, why don't we go to Korea and I find a job in Korea. I get to know a bit more about your home culture, where you come from, a bit more about your family and broaden our focus. And at that time, I'd probably been looking for a job for about 3 or 4 months, and then I went on to Dave's ESL Cafe.
Yeah, good old Dave. Yeah.
I put up my CV on Dave's ESL Cafe. I think there was another one called what was it? ESL or Korean.
It was wayguk.org a long time ago.
Yeah.
And that was popular.
ESL Spectrum as well, I think, but this is going back
way
many,
back.
many years. And then I had this Korean Hagwon owner, director. Within 2 days, he contacted me and said, do you want a job? And I was like, my God, I've got a job after looking for like 3 or 4 months, and it was immediate.
Very good.
Signed the contract there, and then we moved out from the UK in a matter of months, and I started my new job in December 2005. And
Wow.
it was really, I kind of fell in the job into teaching, rather than, thinking at a young age, like, I want to be a teacher. That wasn't really my plan. My plan was, I need a job. I've got a young family and all that.
I feel it's like that for many teachers,
Yeah.
you kind of find your way into teaching.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's how. How about yourself? How did you get into teaching?
Yeah, so, well, I went to school and I honestly had no idea what I wanted to do. And I started learning something about electronics, and but then I had some friends who were studying to become teachers, and I thought, you know what, actually, I'd like to travel more. And I mean, every country needs needs teachers. So I studied to become a teacher, and I worked for 2 years, and then I decided, listen, I don't want to wait around. So I started working at a school and studying at the same time. Called it SBT, school-based training. So the next 2 years I worked at schools in South Africa. While I taught, I was still doing assignments and studying, and graduated. And after I graduated, I thought, okay, I want to see the world, and came to Korea. And so you mentioned before Hagwon. So Hagwon is they are like the academies, the English academies. So worked at an English academy. It was really tough.
Yeah.
Like 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. till 10.
Yes. It's like the boot camp of teachers in Korea, isn't it?
It was hardcore, but I did appreciate back then. So this was 2010.
Yes.
I did appreciate the amount of teachers around back then. So you had these small communities, and it was really fun. And so I taught, and it was really tough because you work from 1 p.m. to 10 or 2 to 10, and you had no vacation. It's probably a week vacation.
A week vacation in the summer and a week in the winter.
It was horrible. And then I decided to stay in Korea, improve my job, and eventually I started working at a public school, high school.
Yeah.
And that was a great experience. The students were amazing.
Yes.
And then
and you get a bit more flexibility with public schools.
Yeah.
Like holidays and time off
Yeah,
and that sort of thing.
it was more structured, and you weren't like when I say I was working from 2 to 10, it's teaching from
Yes.
2 to 10.
Yes.
With 30 minutes in between. These days, probably they're a bit more lenient, but
Well, for me, it was like, 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. or 9 p.m., 50-minute classes and 10 minutes break in between. It was madness, and I had
Yeah.
an hour for, like, not lunch, but for, like, dinner.
I can't imagine doing it now.
I can't do it now.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah. But that's what I
That
did
experience
for
helped.
14 months.
Yeah.
I did.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think going through that. I think it kind of shaped us, and now you can look back and say, "Listen, I did do it. I made it
Yes.
through boot camp, teaching boot camp."
Yes.
Yeah, and so you started teaching at that Hagwon.
Yeah.
As a new teacher, what were some difficulties that you faced? If you can think back, if you
Sure.
yeah.
One of the biggest problems, well, not problems, but challenges that I encountered when I was working for this it was a family-run Hagwon. So it wasn't a big English chain, like a big English franchise that they have in Korea, but it was a small family-run organization. And the directors were brothers. And obviously, when you're a small organization, you have to be quite sympathetic to the parents, because they're spending a
super kind.
huge amount of money to get their kids through.
Smile, be positive.
Yeah, no matter what, So I remember a time when, and I've probably told you this story before, but one time the director said to me, some of the parents are complaining that you're playing too many games in the class, and they want more grammar. And I was like, right, okay. I switched 180, just grammar, gap fills, grammar, and everything else like that. A week later, they turned around and said, we've had some complaints that you're just studying grammar and teaching grammar all the time. And in my mind, I'm thinking, that's what you wanted me to do. That's what you told me to do. And then they said, we want you to play more games. And I'm like, 1 week you say this and the other week you say that. But for me, I could understand, because they're just basically pandering to the parents who are demanding, we want this or we want that. Sometimes they're contradicting themselves, and they probably know it themselves. But that was a bit difficult to alleviate.
I think it's difficult criticism, because it can break you. I mean, if parents, or you hear through the grapevine, because the parents don't just come to you. I mean, back home, parents would contact you, and you would,
Sure.
if you're teaching at a school. But it can really break you if the kids say, "Oh, teacher, I'm bored," or that the parents say the kids aren't learning enough; they're just playing games.
Yeah.
So I think that criticism, you've got to think: is it true? Is it not? And how can this help me? And if it can help you improve whatever, then it might be good.
Yeah. I've got to a point now where I kind of roll with it. I'm not really. I don't have the energy to
Be invested in.
or to disagree. It's like, okay, you want this? Yeah, fine. Okay, fair enough. And in my mind, I'm thinking it's not going to work at all. It's not going to work. But then I go, well, I'm not going to cause a scene.
Just
I'm
saying yes, but still doing what you're
Just-
going to do.
nodding and agreeing.
But I think, when I go through my classes, obviously you have this balance of activity for the students and learning. But I'm always thinking, wow, how can I improve this class? Because most of us, we've got a similar structure to our classes,
Sure.
and you redefine it and you polish it. How about you? What's your class structure like, and are you how comfortable are you with that?
My structure is fairly relaxed. It's flexible. I always have, I'm going to go through a sort of a warmer, brainstorming, activating all that knowledge that they probably already have, and then trying to teach the kids something, or they're not kids these days, young adults at university, but trying to impart something to them that they can
They got to
take
walk
away.
out of there and be like, well, I learned something.
I learned something, but I don't want to get too serious. Again, this was a problem for me back in the UK. It was very structured and very formal when it came down to academic writing, whereas in Korea, there's not really that sort of high level focused aspect of writing, because if they can find a shortcut, they'll do it, especially in this day and age with AI. So I thought, okay, well, what would be an easier way is to just get them to practice, and I'm not really going to be assessing their grammar, their vocabulary, or that sort of thing, but I'm going to give them feedback, but give them grades or marks based on how much they're able to complete in class. Sorry, I'm rambling a bit.
No, it's fine. It's interesting to hear. So yeah, basically, I feel like with
the structure of the lesson.
Yeah.
So my structure is introduction, activating their knowledge, get them to do something, group discussions, a lot of
Very
group
important.
discussions, nominating students, randomly.
You've got to, otherwise they're going to be lazy. If you don't call them out and everybody's got to have a chance, they're not going to do anything.
Exactly.
So you've got to.
Or I get a student, I say, right, you choose another student to answer this, and they're like, keep them
That's
on
pretty.
their
I've
toes.
never heard that before. Putting someone on the spot.
But then that's the best way to do it, because they all like. But that's the best way to do it, because then they're all active. And
They've got to
focused.
be engaged.
Yeah.
So I think same thing for me. What's really fun is, so with the university students, they need to learn, and especially they need to be more confident in their speaking, because that's been a big problem in Korea for a long time. Is they learn so much grammar because they have to study to the test.
Sure.
And they've got to prepare for that, and it's all about reading and grammar.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they come to when you're teaching at Hagwon, or you're teaching at university, you want to prepare them to speak and to build their
Exactly.
confidence.
Yeah.